Hey guys, this is Primeval, back with part 6 of our Shoshone playthrough. Let's go and have a look. Our plan last video was to go and attack the Babylonians, and that means we'll need to denounce them so that we're not labeled as a warmonger, which will cripple our ability to trade profitably with the other civs. So, let's see. Now, unfortunately, Babylon is now friends with the Iroquois. I think the last time I checked, they were not friends, in which case denouncing them would have been a little bit easier. Because while I would like to attack the Iroquois eventually, I don't really want to get into a fight with them just now. Although, if I can get them to declare war on me, and I have an army ready, that would be the ideal situation. So maybe getting them a little mad by denouncing Babylon isn't such a bad plan after all. Once I have 3 cannons, I think I'll be ready to attack, but in the meantime, I think I want to squeeze out a quick knight. So what I'm doing here is keeping the cannon 1 turn from finishing in the queue so that I can avoid paying maintenance on it for, I guess that'll be 5 more turns, since I don't need the cannon right away. Now, everything else seems to be in order. Let's quickly review the tech tree, if only to remind myself as to what's going on here. Okay, I'm grabbing fertilizer because we do have a bit of spare happiness, so getting more food rolling will be good. Getting more population in our cities is, of course, what we want. Population makes everything for us. Hammers, science, gold, food. But after fertilizer, I do want to work my way up towards dynamite. I'll use Oxford University to grab dynamite for free, but the decision I need to make is whether I want to go straight to military science after fertilizer or take a short detour to grab navigation and then upgrade my Galeas to frigates, which will be able to do a lot more damage. So one thing to consider, though, is that I'll be using a lot of my money to upgrade the cannons to artillery, and I might not have enough to spare for doing the upgrades to frigates. Well, for now, let's head over towards military science, and then we might readjust that as we see how our aggression towards Babylon goes. Now, we do have a trade route that would be pillaged if we went to war with Babylon. That is assuming they have any naval units, which I'm sure they do. So we'll want to hold off on that, on actually declaring war on Babylon, until we have a nice navy to squish any of their ships and let that trade route keep on going, or we'll have to wait until that trade route expires. So I believe that we started that trade route very recently, just last turn, and we're actually getting we've got another, I guess that's 39 turns left on that particular trade route, so that's not going to be expiring for quite a while, but we are getting 21.4 gold out of that, and we've got a very healthy gold per turn coming in, and we'll put that to good use, upgrading our units to their more modern and more powerful counterparts. Alright, so we just entered the industrial era here. Choosing production, we finished a bank in our capital. We could grab a zoo because we will eventually be needing the happiness. Both of these cities are about to grow, but I think we'll go Ironworks and Oxford, and let's see how that times out. So 14 turns versus 14 turns, so that's pretty much perfect. We'll finish Oxford just as we finish military science. So in 14 turns, or somewhere thereabouts, I'll have to make sure we're still on track for that, but I think that'll work out quite nicely. Okay, we got a new spy for entering the industrial. We will want to go and try to steal some techs here. Let's go and sink this guy into England. Now that we have fertilizer, perhaps we can actually get our city here growing a little. But I think I'm happy to have it stagnate for now. Since we are getting close to our happiness limit, may as well go for full hammers and pump out a bunch of Galeas here. Okay, so I think we'll wait to denounce. We'll wait to denounce Nebuchadnezzar until we've converted his last city to Tangrism. But, and so probably our war will line up just right when we're getting artillery. Let's put this guy here and just put him on alert. Shaka wants to renew our iron deal. I think I'm going to need the iron for frigates, so we'll hold off on that one. I also want the horses for our unique unit. So we'll hold off on that. We don't really need the small trickle of gold per turn quite so desperately at the moment anymore, so hanging on to some useful strategic luxuries makes perfect sense. Now, our gold deals have expired. We have more horses and more iron left. For frigates and our unique unit, which is the, let's see, the Komachi Riders, and their unique ability is that they have this full moon striker promotion, which is +1 movement. So cavalry are nice. They're good for hitting ranged units and running away, and for capturing cities without being in range of the city's range attack. So I'm happy to have that unique unit. It's not the most exciting, but the extra range will be welcome. Okay, so the Babylonians do indeed have a navy. Here they have a Galeas exploring our territory. Gandhi wants a research agreement, but I would rather use that gold for other things, buying key buildings or upgrading our military units. We can make up for our tech deficit by stealing techs from the leaders. Okay, our deal for iron with Babylon has ended. Now we've got 8 iron to work with. We go and have a look at our unit listing. We've got 5 crossbows, 1 cannon, and 2 Galeas as well. As the Great Prophet, etc. Okay, so we've got a new cargo ship, perhaps some new destinations. Our highest gold yield would be from trading with Babylon, but I want to end that soon. Let's see if any city-states want a quest. So this guy's gone and allied with Ethiopia, and with 161 influence. So we're not going to flip them. I'm glad that they're allied with Ethiopia on the other continent there, and not with the Iroquois or the Babylonians or the Zulu, because we probably will be going to war with them at some point. Okay, so up next here, since I haven't actually done the cultural victory here in Brave New World, so I don't actually know how much pre-planning or focus you need to go for that. But I do want to keep that option open, although we might end up going military. So I think I have to get our culture buildings rolling, and since this particular city doesn't really have the most production, I won't worry about producing units here. There's a worker finishing off a farm. What tiles are the citizens here working? That looks fine to me, although I'll switch that guy over here. I'd rather have the 2 extra food at the cost of 1 hammer in this particular case. And I'll get the worker working on a road so we can more easily move our troops over towards Babylon when the time comes. Let's quickly review what routes we could have. We could set up a trade route with Harar via Goshute. So that would probably be along the bottom over to Harar here. So that wouldn't be endangered by our Babylonian conflict unless Babylon has some ships down here. The other option is to ship hammers over to Goshute, which might not be a bad idea there either. I think what I'll do is actually move this guy to Timok and then have Timok make a trade route to generate free hammers for Goshute. And then Goshute will pump maximum hammers for pumping maximum units. And in the meantime, let's queue up a Galeas here as well. Okay, so the Zulu have an army, but they're not doing any damage to the Babylonian cities here. They do have a few units running around, pillaging some tiles, but they don't seem to be very effective. Okay, let's get to work on that road. We're no longer friends with Bonus Ares, and this guy, I assume we got him from our military ally here. Okay, let's grab naval targeting for this guy, and our future Galeas will go land targeting, but the first few, since the primary purpose at the moment is to protect our trade routes, we're going to go for the naval promotions. Up next, I think I'm going to want a zoo. We are going to need that happiness soon enough, so we'll take a break from Galeas production. We've got a good 3 of them at the moment. That's not bad. And as for this guy, we'll take the open terrain and cover. Since I anticipate that musketman just standing in front of a city, probably taking a lot of hits. So, we'll go and send 10 hammers to Goshute, and that speed things up quite nicely. We'll just go and fortify there. Take a look at the demographics, see how we're doing military-wise. We're starting to catch up with the average, and the Babylonians are currently the weakest, with England being the strongest. We're 2 techs behind the average, and we're actually doing fairly well on the demographics. Of course, we're not the leader, but we're definitely looking good. Okay, so we can go and flip this city to Tengrism, I do believe. Or does it need a full-on majority? I guess we're not quite there yet then. And it looks like there was a shallow coast bridge between the 2 continents here, but it was within the Iroquois borders, so I couldn't have gotten it with a trireme unless I had gotten open borders with the Iroquois way back when. Alright, so Akkad is following our religion now, Tengrism, and we are getting 3 happiness from religion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll need 1 more before we get the 4th happiness, I think. Or maybe what did we even take for our religious perks? Yeah, we took ceremonial burial. It's just not as good as it used to be. Now, this guy, I think we'll go with another naval targeting here, and we'll just have him sit on the fish for now. Let's just go and hop in the water. May as well convert the last Babylonian city there. Or I suppose we could convert Tyre, although there is a lot of Christian pressure, so it might be a bit of a waste. Okay, open borders, that's fine. I don't think this guy is producing very much tourism, but I should go and double check that. Syria's making for tourism. Alright, that's essentially nothing. We've got the most expensive tech we can steal is economics, so we'll grab that. We finished the knight. Go open terrain there, as well as open terrain 2 or shock 2, and I'll send the knight over to the corner. I'm not quite ready for these cannons yet, so let's churn out a quick crossbow. And are we still lining up here? 8 turns versus 5 turns. Okay, we don't want to finish Oxford before we're lined up to grab dynamite, so let's go with the zoo. That's a total of 10 turns, so we should be safe to be able to grab dynamite with Oxford. And after that, let's head over towards navigation and then industrialization. Okay, so we've got a caravan available. We could set up a route with Samarkand, although it does cut through Babylonian territory if we are planning to go to war with them soon. We could also set them up as an internal trade route to either push some food towards Agatica or some hammers towards our capital. I think we could do with some food over in Agatica. Well, let's see what we have going at the moment. So we've got 2 international trade routes and 1 food and 1 production trade route. Yes, let's go for the food then. Move this guy over to our capital, and then we'll set up a internal trade route to get some food going to our desert city. Okay, there's that road done. We'll put a road on the hill, and probably in 3 or so turns we'll go and denounce Babylon. I'm really hoping that their declaration of friendship with the Iroquois expires soon. Aw, man. Seriously? Alright, so this is going to be really bad, because we haven't denounced them yet, and... I should have denounced them this turn. I didn't think it would trigger, because all of my units, or most of my units, were within my own borders. Now, I guess I don't really need to take over Babylon, it's just the most convenient route. We could push on the Iroquois right now and try to stay friends with the Babylonians, because if I declare war now without denouncing him first, I'll probably get warmonger status, and I do want to play nice with the other continent for as long as possible. Alright, Nebuchadnezzar, you're a very shrewd politician. You have saved yourself from destruction. And, alright, I won't spawn you anymore there, Ethiopia. That means we'll have to go and move our spy perhaps to the Iroquois, since I think I am going to go and attack the Iroquois then. Let's go and move this guy to the Iroquois capital. And London, looks like stealing text from them isn't going to be so easy either. We could see 21 turns in London. I guess I could move this guy over to our military city-state, and then use him to perform a coup and flip us up towards ally status. So that should be a fairly high probability event, since we're only 18 influence behind. And once that's flipped, and we are either in position to capture Geneva or we flipped Geneva, then we can start marching on the Iroquois there. Alas, let's start repositioning our people then. And I guess we don't need this road either. We'll just put in a farm. And since we aren't going to attack the Babylonians, we may as well be friends with them. Do they have any gold per turn to make that even worth it? Yes, they do. Alright, let's go and be friends with them. And we'll just keep them as a barrier between ourselves and the Zulu, and hopefully we'll have a successful military campaign against the Iroquois. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure some of you disagree with the way I handled that Babylon situation, but I'm interested to see how this plays out. Alright, so we've got a great artist, I believe, yes. And now let's make sure we have space to display that work of art. We do not. So I guess what I'll do with this guy, I guess I'll just have to have him hang around, which is too bad. It's a bit of a waste. What's the next building I can... I believe Oxford. No, it's just great writing slots. We'll unemploy that because I don't really want any more surprise artists. Now, surprise writers might not be bad, since we do have free writing slots. And we have enough faith to purchase something. Just missionaries or inquisitors. Don't need any of that. Okay, let's get that food delivering caravan rolling. Since we'll have our zoos online, that'll cover any unhappiness from new population. I guess one thing good about capturing Babylon is I bet they've got a few great works and maybe even some slots that we could put our great works into. Let's see, Babylon, they've got 6 tourism, presumably off of 6 great works of some kind. Alright, so a lot of stuff happening around Akkad, but the Babylonians have been fairly successful at holding off the Zulu. What else does our worker have to do? All of the tiles in our tiny continent have been improved. And let's start getting these guys over. So this guy wants us to go and demand tribute from Geneva, which is an option. I think maybe what we'll do then is demand tribute from Geneva and then take Geneva over. There's the amphitheater done. We're going to want canvassery no, a harbor no. A windmill would be okay. What are the citizens here doing? I guess we can work on a zoo since we are at 0 happiness at the moment. A zoo it is. Okay. No, I think I'll keep that iron to myself there. Old Nebby. Buenos Aires wants someone there. Genoa. Open borders, gold, and there's a crossbow done, as well as a new social policy. We do have quite a few specialists, so let's go and grab that. Get more science rolling in. And we'll continue with the Goliath production. Let's grab open terrain on that guy. Yep, all of these tiles have been improved. Guess we'll send a worker along with our army, and I really wish we could get by this trireme here. Go see what the Iroquois are up to. Open borders for $50? Sure. Okay, time for more cannons. Military science in 3 turns, Oxford in 5. That's okay, it doesn't have to line up perfectly. And here we'll go open terrain, and we'll get these guys over to Geneva as well. They do not fear our military might. Yet. Oh, and the Iroquois already have a bunch of archaeologists running around. So if we can get them to collect all of the artifacts and great works for us, maybe we can do a culture victory, assuming our military campaign against them is successful. We can steal all of the great works out of their museums and then show the world what a cultural superpower we are. Okay, Ethiopians and the Iroquois have signed a research agreement. We're no longer friends with Genoa, and Watha is secretly plotting against Nebuchadnezzar. I wonder then if we get Babylon to pay us for a mutual defense pact, and then we bribe the Iroquois into attacking Babylon, will that count as us declaring war? I think it does, but it does sound a little more politically savvy. I don't know if it's an actual game mechanic. Anyways, I'm clearly gearing up for war, but I don't really want to be labeled as a warmonger. Okay, Geneva still doesn't fear our military. Looks like the Zulu are still using their impi, which are quite powerful, but I think they're a little outdated now. May as well see what's happening over here. I don't see any archaeologists running around, so hopefully they haven't collected too many artifacts yet. The Iroquois are at plus 31 tourism, so I think I will want to go and crush them militarily. No thanks, Babylon. India and Assyria have made peace. We have 11 turns left to try to demand tribute from Geneva here. Let's slide these guys over and around. Surely standing directly in Geneva's territory will help us intimidate them. Okay, let's go. So we're already at positive pressure here. But may as well use up the great profit. That'll save me on the upkeep and should get me over to 4 happiness from ceremonial burial now. Let's just go and fortify here. Keep an eye on the Iroquois and explore the ice sheet. Mombasa. Okay, Antwerp wants furs. Mombasa wants us to demand tribute from Byblos, which is not going to happen. Trespassing on Mombasa, we've got another Galeas. This time we'll take land bombardment, but you can go and protect the fish dial. Choose production. Let's go grab ourselves an amphitheater. And they still do not fear us. What's it gonna take? Because I do have a lot of influence with them, and I don't want to waste it by going to war with them right now. But I might not have a choice in the matter, since they are currently very firmly allied with the Iroquois. And I can't have them have them turning on me during my war with the Iroquois. So I'll have to get them under control one way or another, and I'd rather do it by conquering them, but I want to fulfill the quest from Mbaza Congo first. Okay, they still don't fear us. Failed to rig elections, eh? I guess we both have spies in the Congo, which means that our coup success is less likely. Okay, we can get this guy rolling. And we could get a military academy up, or continue with the cannons. Let's continue with the cannons for now. Can't believe these guys still don't fear us. Let's try to coup here. 70% chance success, coup success. Excellent. So we've got 96 influence with them, and still no bully opportunities. What if we bring the knight in as well, and stand on the hill, bring the cannon to bear. Okay, here's a cargo ship ready. Let's see what our options are. The most profitable trade route, there's one over towards the Zulu. Since we are still friends with the Babylonians, I guess we can go and send a trade route over to Akkad. That's 19 gold and 2 science. Very well. Okay, so next turn we'll pop Oxford. We'll use that to grab dynamite. I guess we'll upgrade this guy to an artillery, and we'd have to wait until we actually capture Geneva before we can upgrade these cannons, as we'll soon have that into our territory. But I do feel quite bad about wasting 18 influence there from friend status. Won't let that cause divide between us. Military strength wise, we're still 6th on soldiers. Our free tech will go and grab dynamite. That's Oxford done. Up next, I think we can go. We could try for Brandenburg Gate. And here they don't fear us. What if we had some artillery? And every single one of their tiles was full of our units. Alright, so we can go and try to get declarations of friendship going with as many people on the other continent as possible before we start start getting aggressive with these city-states. Man, I can't believe they still don't fear us. And it's also unfortunate that we're no longer happy. Is there anything I can do about that? How are we doing resource-wise? Have you got spare copper? Can we trade that? There's Elizabeth with spare incense, and Gandhi with spare citrus. We could get a We Love the King Day off of wine, ivory, or truffles. So let's go and swap.
Hello again. Go ahead.
Copper. No takers for our copper, eh? What about you, Nebi? Sure, why not? Okay. I'll wait one more turn. If they still don't fear me, we'll just have to attack. Alright, so that whole other continent, they're all friends with each other, except for Assyria, who's the odd man out there. So, if possible, I'd like to join that block. No thanks. I think I'll take care of my own research. Gandhi, I believe, has some decent tourism going now, so I think we will decline the open borders there. But how about a defensive pact? Sure. So if we can trick the Iroquois into declaring war on us, that'll draw the other continent into the war on our side. But how we're going to get the Iroquois to declare war on us, I'm not entirely sure. Byblos seeks culture, Geneva seeks culture, and we've been displaced here. I really would like to flip Geneva. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That's gonna be out of range. Okay. Pretty much my entire army is right beside Geneva, and they still don't fear us. So, I think we're just going to have to attack them and take them over. Although that won't reflect very well on my warmonger status. So, amphitheater done. Let's go grab ourselves a quick armory. No thanks. And I think we're gonna need some more Galeas over by the south. We'll just hang out there for now. We'll upgrade you to a frigate next turn. There's a zoo done, but I'm starving for happiness here. Let's toss up a quick... I guess we can train some musketmen out of here. And resource-wise, I guess we shouldn't have sold that last copper. City-states. No one wants a trade route except for this guy, but I'm not really worried about that. At least a lot of the Iroquois' city-state allies are being replaced by Ethiopia. Trade route wise, let's go and see what trade route would get us the most money. More trading with the Babylonians. 14 gold. They get a slightly better deal out of that, but that's fine. Or we could send hammers to our capital. Let's go with that. I think I also want to make sure we're on maximum production focus here. And they still don't fear us. Perhaps next turn, when I have frigates, that'll push my soldiers up high enough that Geneva will actually fear us. So this has become a bit of a farce and an exercise in seeing just how much military force you need to get a city-state to fear you. But perhaps in the comments, some of you might be more experienced with exactly what's needed to demand tribute from Geneva here. They seem to be highly resistant to our army. I mean, we do have a lot of influence with them, so maybe they trust us a lot, but I think it's just that overall on the demographics, our army is so weak that it doesn't matter that we have a very sizable army over by Geneva. Okay, Byblos wants a trade route, Tyre wants a trade route, and we've got navigation there. They don't fear us. What if we had a frigate or two? Let's say, what if all of these guys were frigates? That doesn't push our military stats up yet. I'll wait one more turn, but this is getting a little silly. We'll just wait there, wait there. I should have kept the old Great Prophet around now that Mbaza Congo wants Tengrism. Okay, first of all, let's see if upgrading those frigates pushed us up significantly on the military track. We're still in 6th. They don't fear us. What if we had a frigate sort of nearby as well? No, that doesn't help. What about this frigate? Alright, I guess that's enough of that. Let's go and revoke protection. Maybe, since we're protecting them, they're more resistant to tribute demands. Alright, so next turn we attack Geneva, then we move, we upgrade the cannons that are here to artillery, and then we declare war. Well, we'll denounce the Iroquois. And then we'll go and attack the Iroquois. So, first things first, let's get the artillery over to the front lines. Hope this great admiral isn't in danger from this Goliath. Guess I could wait one more turn. They still don't fear us. Not sure if I should be denouncing the Iroquois right now or not. Some sort of weird fighting is happening behind me. It's not too much of a concern to me. and I may as well explore this fog area. Since we don't actually need these guys to protect this particular trade route, we're friends with the Babylonians. And it looks like the Iroquois flipped this guy back from Tengrism to Christianity. So, that's one less happiness from ceremonial burial. And it looks like it's time to vote on some resolutions at the World Congress. They still don't fear us. This is getting a little ridiculous. Well, it's been ridiculous for a while now. But I think we should start attacking soon. Let's grab one more frigate and then we'll start pumping out some privateers. Third council is up. So furs, do I have any furs, and will I be getting furs anytime in the near future? No. So, let's see. Who actually has all the furs? And would undoubtedly be upset if I were to vote in favor of that. Doesn't look like anyone has furs. That's kind of bizarre. City-state wise, Buenos Aires has furs, and Antwerp has furs. Okay, well I'd rather... Well, why don't we just vote for the World's Fair then? So this won't anger anyone, and hopefully it'll get the other civs building the World's Fair rather than military units. So let's just go and do that. It will, however, make winning our cultural victory a little more difficult, but I'm still not actually sure if I'm doing that. Okay, let's see. They still don't fear us. Next turn, we attack. Okay, so the World's Fair passed. Everyone voted in favor of it except for Assyria, and the luxury van did not pass. England was in favor, but both the Iroquois and Babylon voted against. So we've got a textile in 10 turns and an election rigging over here in 5. Now, they don't fear us. What if we had this artillery in the area? No. What if we had the frigate just a little closer? No. Alright, well, that's enough of that. Let's go and declare war on them. Costly attack there. And we'll pull these guys back to our borders, just in case there happen to be some military naval units from Geneva hanging around. That's Genoese from Genoa, but nothing from Geneva catches my eye. Okay, we've got this worker who's just gonna hang around. No thanks, Babylon. I think I need that salt. I also need that copper. Our affairs are none of your business. I hope you declare war on me. I refuse. Ooh, the combined attacks from the crossbow, the cannon, were enough to kill one of our crossbows. But we should have this guy fall down next turn. We got ourselves a cavalry unit from our military ally. So that's not our unique unit, but still almost as good. And here's another... well, here's a great rider. Let's go and make a great work, because I do believe I have space for that, especially inside Oxford. So for the theming bonus here, we want great works from different eras and different civilizations. At present, I only have one piece of great writing, so I can't even worry about trading to get the maximum theming bonus for that. Let's see. Is there any way I can speed Brandenburg Gate up anymore? I could take this mine here, but I don't think that'll have an effect at this point. Let's see. 3 turns? Alright, so it did have an effect. Let's go open terrain, shock 2. Might as well pillage that. For a little extra gold, and so when we puppet this, it won't grow quite so rapidly. And could pillage the mine. We don't really need it for anything. Grab a little extra gold out of that. View the city. It's got a lot of nice buildings. We'll go create ourselves a puppet, and we are in business. Okay, we'll just get these guys to hang out at the tip of the continent here. And why don't we go and slap up some trading posts? Okay, so Hiawatha's still friendly with us, but that should switch over soon. We attacked a city-state and killed the city-state, as well as stole a technology from them. So I think if we go and steal another technology from them in 9 turns, that should be enough to trigger a war with them. I'm not sure if it counts as us declaring war or them declaring war on us. But in any case, I think I'll go and denounce the Iroquois now. It will upset some of my other friends, because a lot of people on the other continent are also friends with the Iroquois. You know, they're friends with Ethiopia and India. Are we friends with Ethiopia, or can we be? Okay, or not. How about with England?
Go on. Go ahead.
Right. I wanted to discuss a friendship.
That's unacceptable.
No. Unacceptable, eh? Okay, so there's one guy done here. We can start work on a factory, although we only have 3 coal, and I would rather have it in my 3 most productive cities. Let's just go and grab ourselves a privateer here. Hoth has entered the modern era. Okay, so we got ourselves a source of coal over at Geneva. That was good. And we're getting another 3 from a city-state, presumably. Alright, so getting into modern, we should... railway will be quite helpful in terms of getting our hammers up. Grabbing public schools will be important for keeping us current as far as tech goes. Yeah, let's go over towards scientific theory first, and then over towards railway. Although, finding out where the oil is going to be pretty important as well, since getting a bunch of bombers online is going to be more important than the 25% production bonus from having our railways up. Okay, the cannons want to be upgraded to artillery. Let's put this guy on alert there. And some of these guys can be upgraded as well. Alright, so I think this is where we'll end this episode. Sorry it was a lot of waiting around. We've got an army now, and given that the Iroquois are still on a lot of longswordsmen, I think next turn we'll make a push on Grand River. It'd be nice if the Congo was on our side for that, and we have got an election rigging coming, so maybe in 3 turns after we get a little more influence from the election, we'll coup, flip Congo over to our side, and then push on Grand River, and then over to the capital. So if you guys have some advice on that, I'd be happy to hear it. Primeval is signing off.